The wave crashed in April with the stock market. .coms fell out of favor with investors, and the VC money dried up. At least 76 .coms have capsized since January.
120 workers will clear out their cubicles for good tomorrow.
More than 22,000 .comers have lost their jobs.
Considering that the water has grown cold for .coms, starting one or even going to work for one now seems like a rather risky proposition.
That didn't stop Doug Landis from diving right in. He's adventurous by nature and not opposed to taking a tumble for a good cause.
I always knew that I wanted to start my own company. It's kind of like, you kind of know certain things in life, and it's just one of the things that I knew.
Doug's partner, Jack Velkovich, was so certain about wanting to be part of a startup, he dropped out of college to help found the company.
Me being in business school was a joke. I mean, I would sit in classes and I'd be like, okay, at what point am I going to learn something new?
Grant Connect, this is Doug.
Like many startups, they have plans to conquer the world. But the reality is there's lots of hard work to be done first.
Jack, are these clean?
The guys at Grant Connect are literally living their dream. Work is where they spend most of their time, where they eat most of their meals, and where they do their laundry. The company rents a live workspace for $5,000 a month. Finding appliances and furniture to fill the office has turned out to be one of the least challenging aspects of starting a business. Their favorite place to shop? DownAndOut.coms.
I said, hey, I want to talk to somebody about buying your furniture because I hear you just laid off 40 people. Their reaction was kind of like, yeah, let me get somebody for you to talk to.
While Grant Connect's founders are happy to sit in the chairs of failed .coms, they have no intention of walking in their shoes. But they know the ride won't be a smooth one.
Some of the challenges we faced are investors questioning our business model, questioning our business plan, telling us they'd give us money, taking it back. We've been on, I know Jack and I have been on the verge of running out of money several times.
Finding money is, of course, one of the biggest difficulties facing startups. According to research firm Venture One, funding for .coms, both consumer and business related, dropped about a third last quarter, and the number of deals being done dropped to its lowest level since the second quarter of last year. It's an attitude shared by Grant Connect's founders, whether their startup proves to be a killer wave or just a swell.
If it happens, great. We're both very confident it will. But I'm also not afraid of failing either. I'm not afraid of, making a mistake.
Even if they wipe out, they won't be washed out. Despite all the .com layoffs, the job market in Silicon Valley keeps on rolling. And for people with the desire to ride the startup wave, a crash just means the opportunity to get back up on the board and try again with a little more experience. Jennifer Arterburn, News Channel 11. This warehouse in China Basin is where computers come to die and be reborn. Every week, HMR receives hundreds of discarded computers and monitors.
Everyone wants the latest, and we get the old trailing edge technology, if you like.
Many of the computers HMR gets from its corporate clients are coming off leases and are practically just off the assembly line. New arrivals at HMR are sorted and tested. Working computers are swept clean from the contents of the hard drive to the dust under the cover.
Computers that pass muster are given a second chance at life. Many of the newer ones are sold here at the company's headquarters in San Francisco, mostly in bulk. The older ones are sent to its stores in the Philippines.
HMR started as a recycler, but realized early on that it could make more money reselling computers. In the U.S., most power-hungry consumers won't settle for anything less than 400 megahertz, but in the Philippines, the average machine HMR sells is a Pentium 90 with a 14-inch monitor that goes for less than $100.
Basically, they're looking for a starting machine.
Not all of the computers that come through HMR are fit to be sold, as evidenced by the parts and pieces scattered around its San Francisco yard.
The hard drive, the memory, maybe the video cards and some other parts can be reused.
Lead and toxic chemicals in computers and monitors make recycling a challenge, but they're no match for the Crusher. The Crusher is the first of its kind, an enclosed machine that disposes of the dangerous materials in monitors without releasing them into the environment. Jennifer Arterburn, Tech News Today.
On the Golden Gate Bridge, expect delays. A crash on the shoulder.
In Silicon Valley, everywhere you go is super busy. People around, people talking on their cell phones, people with their Palm Pilots. Continuous effort everywhere you look.
Frenetic energy drives the valley.
Yeah, the low pad.
But for some high-tech execs, when the night comes, so does calm and simplicity.
When I drive home, eventually Silicon Valley fades away and all there is grass and cows.
Louis Rosenberg uses his cell phone to tie up loose ends at the office until the inevitable happens, no more service.
It's nice to have a place to get away from all that technology and be as far from computers as possible.
Goodbye mouse, hello goat.
There's not much commotion up here. I mean, unless the goats are fighting amongst themselves, it's pretty peaceful. Hey, guy.
All this seems pretty far from the dog-eat-dog culture in Silicon Valley. Rosenberg says this kind of balance keeps him on the cutting edge in the wired world.
You can just get so wrapped up in it, you're not sure what's useful and what's not.
It hasn't slowed me down so far.
Will Clemens lives the same way. Last winter, a storm knocked out power to his house. He has restored electricity to his home office, but the upstairs of his Los Altos cabin remains unplugged.
I tend to live really quietly away from work because the office is such a zoo and so fast-paced. I'll do anything to slow down when I'm not there.
Clemens has no TV and only one phone line. That's right, if he's working online, he has no phone.
My board members do house calls if they need to.
In this unincorporated part of Santa Clara County, webvan is not an option.
You have to plan a little bit more because you can't just go right to the store in 5 minutes and they won't deliver pizza and we can't get cable TV. You dropped it.
The differences between wired work and unwired private lives may seem ironic. Not so, they say.
People's lives and companies' product lines should reflect a never-ending search for simplicity and simplification, and great pieces of technology do that.